Mark Guehi to Liverpool, latest is sale planned and club meet with agent. Arne Slot points finger at Liverpool stars for not finding answers in brutal statement. Tried and tested, Liverpool flop sends Florian Wirtz message to Arne Slot. Now let's hear the details. Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Mark Guehi to Liverpool, latest is sale planned and club meet with agent. There's no getting around it, Liverpool has to be ruing the fact that they failed to secure Mark Guehi's signature during the summer window. Admittedly, Crystal Palace's withdrawal from the $47 million transfer at the last minute on deadline day wasn't their doing. However, whilst Arne Slot's attacking options were strengthened not once, not twice, but 3 times with the substantial acquisitions of Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and Alexander Isak, his obvious centre-half shortage remained unaddressed for far too long. Even without Giovanni Leone's ACL setback, the Reds would have been lacking defensive depth for the lengthy campaign ahead. Guehi's excellent early season form for both club and country has only added salt to the wound, and it appears Liverpool faces a considerable battle to land him after he was virtually theirs. Palace departure confirmed. Following months of speculation throughout the summer regarding whether he would stay or go, there now seems to be a clear answer regarding Guehi's future contract, and it won't be at Selhurst Park. Palace manager Oliver Glasner made this clear last week. He said, "I think Mark has already told us that he doesn't sign a new contract, so he will leave next year." The club wanted him to stay. They offered Mark a new contract. But he said, "No, I want to make something different." And that's normal. And for us, it's how we can deal with this situation. What is the best way to get this next step done? And that's all about how we are talking together. January sale planned. The next question is whether Guehi's departure will materialize in January, or at the conclusion of the campaign. Considering the trajectory of both his careers, it's arguably difficult to envisage him seeking the notoriously challenging winter transfer. Palace currently boasts European competition, whilst he's virtually assured of a spot in England's World Cup squad. Would he wish to jeopardise either opportunity? Perhaps he'll have little choice, as according to the Eye, Palace will look to capitalise during the upcoming transfer window and sell him to secure some return rather than losing him for nothing. They suggest Liverpool is no longer leading the race for his services. Regardless of a January switch, overseas clubs will hold the advantage over the Reds as they can secure Guehi on a pre-contract deal from New Year's Day. La Liga heavyweights Barcelona and Real Madrid have been linked with interest, whilst Bayern Munich are also mentioned, with their sporting director Max Eberl reportedly holding discussions with his agent recently. Guehi is understood to be receptive to departing England, and Europe's other elite sides will undoubtedly be monitoring his situation closely. Sky Sports also identifies Manchester City as potential contenders in a transfer battle that seems to be approaching double figures. It appears increasingly probable that Liverpool will have to cough up a fee or risk missing out on their prime target. Considering the extensive interest, the final figure might not be too far off from what they could have secured him for just a few months before. Arne Slot points finger at Liverpool stars for not finding answers in brutal statement. Arne Slot labelled Liverpool's 4th straight Premier League loss one of the worst of his reign. Cop boss Slot was unhappy with the way his side competed against Brentford. He expected some bumps in the road with the number of big money signings made by the champions over the summer. But he admitted he did not expect to lose 4 games on the bounce. He said, "I have said many times teams have a certain style against us and we have not found an answer yet. Going 1-0 down every time does not help. Teams know what strategy to play against us. Today, even when we don't play well, we score 2 goals, but you can't compete if you concede too many goals. That is not just the defense, that is something we do with 11 players together. And it has a lot to do if you make a lot of chances like this summer. It can be a bumpy ride, but I did not see losing 4 games in a row." Virgil van Dijk mirrored the criticism of Roy Keane when he admitted he and his teammates need to look in the mirror. Keane pointed the finger at Van Dijk for the champions' defensive problems after they lost at home to Manchester United last Sunday. After a 9th game without a clean sheet, Liverpool skipper Van Dijk was left looking for answers for the poor run. He said, "It's difficult to say. The fact we didn't keep a clean sheet for 9 games. It's easy to blame a particular person, the backline, or set pieces. but it's a collective thing in the end. Everyone has to look in the mirror, including myself. I am sure we will get out of this. But we won't do it just by talking about it. We will try to improve. We need each other, we need the support. We need the people who were celebrating with us last year to be with us now even more. We will get out of this because we have the quality offensively and defensively. B's boss Keith Andrews said, "We knew it would be a difficult game, so we're really pleased with how we showed our personality and character and the resilience in the group. It's twice in a row we've had a disappointment just before halftime conceding, but how we started in the second half was excellent. It is a big result for the clubs to beat the Premier League champions." Tried and tested, Liverpool flop sends Florian Wirtz message to Arne Slot. Arne Slot has been told that Florian Wirtz's introduction to the Liverpool team has coincided with the team losing its balance. Wirtz joined Liverpool from Bayer Leverkusen for a seismic transfer fee during the summer transfer window, with the Reds staving off competition from the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich to land the 22-year-old. Despite his obvious qualities, Wirtz has not settled at Liverpool as well as many thought he would, and former Liverpool star Joe Cole has suggested that the team should revert to its tried and tested system in a bid to find some form. Wirtz started against Brentford on Saturday as Liverpool lost a fourth successive Premier League game, leaving the club in sixth position in the standings. "Things are tight in terms of Liverpool's title defense," Cole said on TNT Sports. "We all backed them at the start of the season. They had improved their squad, buying Florian Wirtz, who was the best player in Germany, but there is no balance in their team right now. They were beautifully balanced last year. There was nobody counterattacking on them and set pieces weren't a problem, so they need to go back to the tried and tested for a few weeks." Cole knows a thing or two about struggling at Liverpool as a big-name signing. The former England international left Chelsea for Liverpool in 2010, but made just 26 Premier League appearances for the Reds after flopping at Anfield. Liverpool fell behind inside the opening 5 minutes at the G-Tech Community Stadium and never regained parity with the Bees, who are now just 2 points behind the Reds in the standings. Of Brentford's win, Cole said, "That's why we love football. We had drama, quality, and passion. Keith Andrews has just taken the baton off Thomas Frank and he is just pushing this football club up the table. This is Brentford's moment." A wonderful performance from the team. After recent losses to Crystal Palace, Chelsea and Manchester United, Slot said that the game against Brentford was the one in which Liverpool looked least likely to emerge from with a positive result. "You cannot compare all of them, the losses, but the most concerning thing is that you lose 4 times in a row," Slot said. "Afterwards you can judge the performance and today was the worst in my opinion from all the 4. Again, conceding a set piece and not scoring one makes it hard to win a game of football. We didn't do the basics right in the first half and parts of the second. They won more duels than us, they won more second balls than us, and if you come here and you know if you are going to concede goals then one of them may be a set piece and a counterattack is also one of their biggest strengths, and that's how we conceded 2 goals. I'm not sure the referee would have given them the penalty, but it turned out to be inside. After going 3-1 down we tried, made some substitutes, but maybe if I am completely honest, them scoring at that moment in time was more likely than us to make it 3-2.